Hi, so I have a brief outline of just a part of this book, The Golden Dawn. It's Inner Teachings by Torrens, B.A. This book was published by London Neville Spearman. Written by R.G. Torrens. Copyright originally 1969, reprinted 1972. Printed in Great Britain by Compton Printed Limited in London. And so the Golden Dawn was founded by McGregor Mathers and Wynne Westcott in 1877, and Crowley joined but broke away, and that's when he formed his AA, or the Argentinium Astrum, or the Order of the Silver Star. And a part that I want to talk about is a section on alchemy, which is defined as the science of multiplication based on mental phenomena of growth. In the spiritual nature of man, this is termed regeneration. In the material body of the elements, it is termed transmutation. And specifically in the terms of regeneration, it is said, a person who wants to be an alchemist must have within himself the magnesia, which means the magnetic power to attract and coagulate the unstable astral elements. Unless a man be born again, he cannot accomplish the great work. So basically saying don't even consider any alchemical studies without basically enhancing your conscious awareness first, otherwise nothing will come of it. And so I just have a brief outline of exercises you can do to put you on the path to proper regeneration in alchemical terms. And so there's a few exercises. So like breathing exercises, like meditation. First, in this book specifically, it is said, if you're going to meditate, first you need complete muscle relaxation, and you can do this by sitting or laying down and just going through your entire body and, like tensing the muscles and relaxing them. You could start mentally focusing on your toes and your legs, your thighs, and moving up and to your hands, to each finger individually, your palm, just complete physical muscle relaxation. And when you've done that a few times, when you feel that you're ready to move to breathing exercises, you can. You can be seated or you can lay down. This is I think there's multiple ways you can do this, but there's like a specific breathing technique, like a Golden Dawn breathing technique that's fairly simple, and I'm sure there's more complex specific Golden Dawn breathing techniques, but or others that you can use, but it's just like a brief outline of a beginning point that you can start with. So once your body is relaxed, and you can start breathing deeply and let your lungs expand naturally at first, and gradually breathe deeper so that your lungs are almost bursting. You might get dizzy, in which case just pause for a bit, but just fill your lungs to the point of almost bursting. And then also there was a note of breathing through both nostrils. Make sure that you're breathing through both nostrils and not just one. This book said if you're breathing through one, you could just hold the one down that you're not breathing out of. Just make sure that you're breathing through both nostrils. And at this point, while you're filling your lungs so much that they're almost bursting. You're considering in your mind the elements of the earth and how they are distributed within the body specifically, which is the specific manifestations of these elements is the element of earth is bodily fluids, the element of water is the animal heat, the element of fire is the gaseous parts, the element of air and ether or spirit is the more subtle psychic vitality. And in performing these exercises, you should become vividly conscious of the circulation of blood and prana, of the functioning of all bodily organs, and the arising and disappearing of all thoughts. Basically, just be very cued into everything that's happening in your body on a conscious and non-conscious level. Just be in touch with yourself, essentially. And then at which case now, after you've been filling your lungs so much and you've kind of centered yourself in these specific thought patterns, you can do the 4-fold breathing technique, which is a specific Golden Dawn simple breathing technique. Empty the lungs and hold while you count to 4. Inhale while counting to 4 so that you feel filled with air up to the throat. Hold this breath while counting to 4. Exhale, counting to 4 until the lungs are empty. So, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fairly common. Yeah. Go on for a few minutes until you feel you're calm enough, and then you can move on to a point and color meditation. And point meditation is a meditation technique where you focus on a point on the wall. You see something on your wall and you just stare at it. You can do that. And you can also, the color meditation is choosing a color you feel harmonious with, and close your eyes and see that color. So I don't know if you're supposed to maybe, while you're doing the breathing, imagine a color you're harmonious with and consider that as well. All the while you're considering your organs and your thoughts that are coming in and out. Just feel as if you're inside of this color that you're harmonious with, and then perhaps open your eyes and focus on a point on the wall. It says to consider a point as defined in mathematics. Afterwards, note carefully with pen and paper the ideas to which this gives rise. So after the fact, when you're considering mathematically what it is to be a point, take note of that specifically, what that conjures in your mind. Concentrating all your faculties on this, try to realize the oneness and immanence of the divine throughout all nature and in all its aspects. So I guess specific meditation on a point is harmonious with the essence of consciousness itself. So that is why it's important to take notes on what thoughts arise, I suppose. The secret of all magical processes depends on concentration and correct orientation of thought processes. So you could do this in a way that's perhaps harmful for you, but when you're keeping the divine essence of all things in the forefront of your mind, and specifically like meditating on the mathematical definition of a point, I suppose wouldn't send you awry. It's a pretty neutral existing thing that is aligned with the divinity of consciousness. The object of this point exercise and color meditation is to develop control of thoughts and emotions, basing that control on a foundation of peaceful vibrations, point, so that an impartial and unbiased analysis can be obtained. Having set the scene correctly, the power of thought can thus be utilized in the desired direction. If this direction is in conformity with the cosmic design, this power can have immense force. This must be regularly performed. The main idea of this exercise is to begin and to continue, and to do it regularly. The relaxing your muscles, breathing, and these particular meditations, point and color meditations. When thoughts, during the meditations, when thoughts arise or invade, you need to deal with them rapidly and ruthlessly, for it's getting in the way of the point of what you're trying to do. Having experienced the difficulty of concentrating on a point, next, concentrate on a line. And this forms the next basis of the third exercise. There are 9 basic rules in these meditations. It is noted in this book, of which the first 3 are the most important. And so this will align you with the thought processing you need to even begin to study what alchemy is. So if you're not aligned with these concepts, these 9 concepts that I'm about to say, then you're going to be driven awry, and then you're going to start doing black magic, and a demon is going to possess you, and you're going to suffer eternity in hell. Just kidding, I don't know. So 1, seek wisdom and not power. 2, avoid stunts and excesses. 3, never be negative. Those are the most important concepts to grasp while meditating. 4, do not begin unless you intend to continue. 5, beware of self-congratulation. 6, beware of guru hunting. 7, ignore psychic experiences or the appearance of psychic powers. 8, learn to want to meditate. 9, don't neglect existing duties. And I think I just kind of want to read after those are listed. There's just 2 paragraphs here that I'll read. Know thyself, said the Delphic oracle. The way of meditation is the way to knowing, and the aim of all such knowing is to find and identify oneself with the self within. It is therefore of extreme importance to possess some knowledge of the nature of self and its vehicles in order that the purpose and technique of meditation may be understood. The simplest analysis is that of body, soul, and the spirit. The first including the complex personality, the second of all that is thought of as the higher self, and the spirit being a useful term as any for the higher self, and spirit being as useful. The simplest analysis is that of body, soul, and the spirit of knowing thyself. The first, including the complex personality, the second, all that is thought of as the higher self, and spirit, being a useful term as any for the unborn, unoriginated, uncreated, and unformed. The aim of meditation is to differentiate and become knowledgeable about these different parts of your own life. As meditation proceeds, you may notice an ever-increasing strain on the body, which must be compensated by deliberate relaxation of both body and mind. In the early stages of concentration, the strain is chiefly muscular, but as the effort of prolonged meditation develops, there will appear evidence of strain of the nerves. You may notice yourself subject to irritability and hypersensitivity. This is a common experience and must be carefully controlled by paying attention to deep and rhythmic breathing and purification of the body in every possible way. This is necessary so that the progressive refinement of the bodily instrument may keep pace with the development of the mind. Thus alone can the spiritual wisdom of the universal mind become mirrored in the heart. And something else to keep in mind, along with knowing thyself, the habit of thinking self in opposition to others prevents impersonal thinking. To obtain true knowledge, it is absolutely essential to think impersonally. So be aware that there is no separation between me and you and anyone else, and which is also something that I talked about in the book of Naked Awareness that I will put below, which just perfectly grasps how to consider your relation of you and the other and the illusion of what that is and what is actually happening. And the real self is the self meditated on. In Aristotelian terms, heaven itself is thought, thinking thought itself. When you are reflecting upon what your own mind is, that is the true self. And when you are aware of that, ego dissipates. Thus, when you extrapolate that concept upon everything, there is no differentiation between your self and another self, because there is no self to begin with. So, before you go on to learn anything about alchemical regeneration of the self, you need to be meditating in a proper way that aligns with Earth's consciousness or what have you. And so those are some practices that you can do. I know I said something about like the third practice. I get like muscle relaxation, fourfold breathing technique, point meditation, color meditation, line meditation. I suppose maybe you'll understand this more if you're doing this yourself. Just follow your own intuition as long as you're aligning yourself with those 9 rules. And maybe there's more. I mean, I'm sure there's more in that book. I'm just, found enough interesting stuff to make a video, and then we'll move on from there, and I'll add more stuff if it's relevant. But other than that, thank you for listening. And yeah, this was just a short excerpt of The Golden Dawn, its Inner Teachings by R.G. Torrens. So thank you.